Okay, so we have found ourselves back in Utah again. Remember the video I just put out? I don't know, probably 2 hours ago, depending on when this one goes up. And I said out of 150 some videos, this is the worst one I've ever done. I don't know how it can get any worse. Well, remind me not to say that again. It got worse with the same two individuals. Remember earlier? They were talking about 13 and 16-year-olds. If that wasn't bad enough, remember the extended family members that was mentioned earlier? Wait till you hear this shit. These people, what in the hell is wrong with these people? I'm completely confused how these people go this long and nobody knows anything about it. Somebody make this make sense. Also, I know people don't like it when I say this. Not all of you, but some of you. 93% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your computer, you got your phone in your hand. All you gotta do is click the button and I'll quit the harassment. And I may or may not say that 2 more times. So this is where we're at right now. Concerns raised over box elder judge's past rulings after his arrest for, you know how YouTube is. So I'm going to let them say it. And we'll watch a video. We got a couple more articles.
And tonight, when a judge is arrested, what happens to his previous cases?
That is the question we asked after a Box Elder County judge is now facing serious charges for child sex abuse.
Judge Kevin Christensen was arrested last night. Is currently in the Davis County Jail, and that's where David Ochoa is live for us right now. And David, what kind of cases did he preside over?
Well, he was a justice court judge, which means he oversaw Class B misdemeanor offenses and lower. But people are still disappointed that someone in his with his power, could possibly be accused of the things that he's accused of. Judge Kevin Christensen was arrested Thursday night on 6 counts of child abuse and sex crimes. Does something like this affect previous cases that he's been on?
It certainly can. He's never presided over a case with allegations as serious as his is.
Christensen oversaw things like assaults, DUIs, and speeding tickets. But defense attorney Sky Lazaro says it still calls into question some of his court decisions and demeanor towards defendants. But she says just because Christensen might have done something wrong, it doesn't mean everything he's ever done as a judge is wrong.
I think that's something that the Judicial Standards Committee will take a look at. If there is a need to go back and revisit some of those cases, I think they certainly will. If not, it's likely most of those decisions will stand.
Although we don't know if the alleged victims knew Christensen was a judge, this highlights a problem of people of power potentially abusing it.
They're supposed to be the ones making sure that the wrongs get righted and people are brought to justice and the integrity of the justice system is upheld.
A Box Elder fire chief was also charged with sexual exploitation of a minor in January. I talked to Brett Bluth, who's a victim and advocate, and he told me, quote, "When authority is wielded as a tool to harm children, it becomes the most insidious of weapons because its wielder knows their victim has no choice but to comply." Now, Christensen is being held here at the Davis County Jail, and he's being held with no bail, but he hasn't actually been charged with a crime just yet. Box Elder County learned about this last night, and he was immediately put on administrative leave, and the Utah Supreme Court also put him on leave today. Reporting live, David Ochoa, KUTV 2 News.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, so yes, we know that he has actually been charged.
Your own sunshine.
At this point, this one's from March 7th, but the point is, what will happen to the cases that he has made decisions for? I guess we'll find out. And then 8 felonies filed against Box Elder judge accused of enticing minors on chat app. Kevin Robert Christensen, a Box Elder County judge, faces 8 felony charges accusing him of enticing minors online. FBI investigators said they identified Christensen using the Kicks app for inappropriate chats with minors, including sending explicit content. Charging documents say Christensen admitted to engaging in these chats, claiming they were fantasy, and later deleted evidence. Alrighty. Brigham City, criminal charges. Now, some of this is going to be what we've heard already, but there's more to the story embedded in here. Criminal charges were filed Monday against a Box Elder County judge accused of, you know how YouTube is, minors via chat app. Kevin Robert Christensen, 64, is charged in the 1st District Court with 2 counts of enticing a minor using the internet. 1 second-degree felony, and 1 third-degree felony, plus 2 counts of dealing in materials harmful to a minor, 3 counts of attempted aggravated and obstruction of justice, third-degree felonies. Christensen is a judge in Utah's 1st District Justice Court and was arrested and booked into the Davis County Jail on Thursday. FBI investigators discovered on February 28th that an individual in Box Elder County was using the internet-based chatting application Kicks to communicate with others about and enticing children, according to charging documents. The individual was later identified as Christensen, police said, and multiple suspicious chat threads were found on the Kick account. Christensen discussed many personal details about himself and sent multiple photos of him and his family members. Him and his family members to other people in those chats, including explicit photos of himself, the charges state. In one chat on November 2nd, Christensen was talking to a user who said she was 13 years old, and he directs the conversation toward sexual topics and engages in graphic sexual chats with a child. A police booking affidavit says he is also accused of sending an unsolicited graphic video to her. Christensen continues to engage in graphic sexual encounters with the child and states at one point that he has watched depicting an adult female, a child who was approximately 8 years old, according to the charges. We thought the 13 and the 16-year-olds were bad enough earlier. 8 years old. But wait, there's another article. In a separate chat on September 3rd, Christensen is accused of communicating with a user who said she was 16 years old. Police say Christensen and the girl exchanged explicit photos. At no point in the chat does either party suggest that this is a role play or fantasy chat, and the minor female at no point suggests that she is not a minor female, the charges state. In another conversation on August 10th, Christensen was asked what aroused him, and he replied, "I love young," the charges allege. This is a common slang for depicting young children. During an interview with police, Christensen admitted to engaging in fantasy chats, the charges state. However, when pressed by law enforcement about soliciting, the defendant gave no alternate explanation other than having solicited and received such material. The judge said that on November 26, he deleted all evidence of the chats from his devices after learning a suspect co-conspirator of his was discovered distributing, the charges say, adding that he stopped using the app with the intent to avoid being discovered or arrested by law enforcement. This dumbass is too fucking stupid to realize you can delete it all day long. You can burn the phone. You can blow it up. The internet is forever. It can be retrieved. Trust and believe, if you ever sent it or if you ever received it, they can retrieve it. In other chats, Christensen allegedly made multiple references to, in the conversation with the 13-year-old, he said he wanted to make an explicit movie with that young teen and another child he knows. According to the charging documents, police said allegations involving other children are being investigated. In regards to Christensen's job as a sitting justice court judge, the arresting officer wrote, "The position of trust he holds in the community and the actions he undertook while in this position significantly undermine the confidence of the community and the legitimacy of the criminal justice system." Criminal justice system. They're all criminals. Also, remember, I've said it in the last video, I'm going to say it in this video. With the officer and the same thing going on, and I said what they need to do is start with the closest family members and children and work their way out, and they will probably be surprised what they find. Probably not. They probably know. I'm just, how does this go on for this long? Anyway, there's a degenerate, and then there's this. Charges allege Utah fire chief and judge shared disturbing chats about Box Elder County. Utah judge and now some of this is going to be a repeat. I've already said it. Utah judge and former fire chief are facing similar charges for according to law enforcement. Court documents report both men engaged in disturbing conversations with each other about, and the two were also involved in sexual relationship. In addition, investigators claim the judge was assigned to the fire chief's criminal case and released him on bail in January despite a request that he be held without bail. And of course, nobody would think that was suspicious. They did. Tremonton, however you pronounce it, Fire Chief Ned Brady Hansen, 54, was charged Tuesday in Brigham City's 1st District Court with 8 counts of aggravated of a minor, a first-degree felony. Hansen's charges were filed a day after 1st District Justice Court Judge Kevin Robertson Christensen, 64, was charged with 7 felony crimes involving children and obstruction of justice. According to court records, the charges against Hansen allege he distributed an explicit video of a 10-year-old girl on at least 6 occasions and shared an explicit photograph of 2 12-year-old girls on at least 2 occasions. Christensen is accused of sexually enticing minors via a chat app multiple times. So now we got 8-year-olds, we have 10-year-olds, we have 13-year-olds, and we have 16-year-olds. What else are they going to find? On January 27th, Brigham City Police executed a warrant on Hansen's residence and later booked him into the Box Elder County Jail. Several electronic devices were seized by police for processing at the time. When Hansen was initially arrested, investigators asked a judge, Christensen, to keep Hansen in custody without the possibility of posting bail. While looking through Hansen's electronic devices, police later discovered that he had an extensive number of chats with Christensen that was graphically sexual and involved discussions of, according to the arrest affidavit. In those chats with Christensen, Hansen expressed interest in, he knew and offered to share them and allow Christensen to, the affidavit alleges, adding that Christensen discussed showing Hansen pictures of children he knew and offered to share. Hansen also discussed having met with this internet user, Christensen, in real life to engage in sexual acts with this other user, according to the arrest warrant affidavit. I'm not sure if I said Hansen or Christensen on that one, but that was Hansen. Christensen was charged Monday with 2 counts of enticing a minor using the internet, 1 second-degree felony and 1 third-degree felony, plus 2 counts of dealing in materials harmful to a minor, 3 counts of attempted aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, and obstruction of justice, all third-degree felonies. According to the probable cause statement, the judge, who has since been placed on unpaid leave, is accused of using a chatting application to communicate with others about and enticing children. While being questioned by police, Hansen reportedly said he had a pornography addiction and that over the previous several years he had developed taste for younger females. The fire chief was hired by Tremonton, however. In August 2023, Tremonton City Manager Bill Kababe confirmed that Hansen was fired Monday after city officials heard of his arrest. Well, wouldn't you think? And last but not least, Box Elder County Judge Kevin Christensen being held without bail following arrest over. Judge Kevin Christensen, 64, of the Box Elder County Justice Court, has been arrested on suspicion of multiple sex crimes, including 2 counts of attempted exploitation of minors, 2 counts of enticing a minor, and 2 counts of dealing materials harmful to minors. All 6 of these charges are felonies. The investigation began on February 28th, according to the affidavit, when investigators found Christensen through his Kik account with multiple chat threads dating back to September were flagged as suspicious. Evidence supports that Christensen allegedly both received and distributed over the internet. The statement reads, Christensen also allegedly used a platform to chat with and send graphic images to multiple children, as well as discussing interest in young children with other adults. Additionally, the affidavit states that there is evidence pointing towards offenses against relative children found in that the recovered chat with vivid details and numerous descriptions. These actions show that the defendant is a clear danger to the community, the affidavit states. Christensen was appointed nearly 3 decades ago to serve as Box Elder County, Tremonton City, Brigham City, Garland City, and Willard City, according to Utah courts, and had regular interactions with the community. In addition to his judicial and family duties, Judge Christensen often speaks to various youth and civics groups about the structure and function of the court system. His bio states Christensen was arrested on Thursday, March 6th, and is being held in Davis County Jail without bail. Court finds substantial evidence to support the charge. Judge Brian Cannell wrote in the order to hold without bail and finds by clear and convincing evidence that Kevin Robert Christensen would constitute a substantial danger to any other individual or to the community, or is likely to flee the jurisdiction of the court if released on bail. More details will be provided as more information becomes available. Yes, and I believe one of them, the 17th. When's the 17th? Tomorrow? Yes, Monday. Hansen has his first appearance, and the 20th, Christensen has his first appearance. Probably not much is going to come about that. But, yeah, so remind me not to say, I don't think it could get any worse, because when I think that, it gets worse. So that's where we're at with this one. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, 92% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You're sitting at your computer, you have your phone in your hand, click the button, and I'll stop the harassment. Let me know what you think about this one, and I am out.